Hello students, in this video we are going to solve the remaining questions for NCERT exemplar book. In the previous video we had seen question up to 19. So now let we continue the solution for this exercise. This exercise you do not have to write in the book. This is for your practice and for the revision of chapter 1 as a part of the revision for chapter 1. So next question is question number 20. In that crossword puzzle from the word puzzle given in the figure, and you have to find at least 8 words which are farmers' friends, and you have to also classify them into living and non-living. So here the puzzles is given to you, so you can find by your own. Here let me see directly answer. So from the given puzzles, farmers' friends are, so here first the living things is given to you which are friends of farmer. So seed, earthworm, rhizobium and microbes and ox. These are the living things or living organisms which are friends of farmer. So living components like seeds, microbes, earthworm, etc. helps in the growth of crops, and they enrich the soil with the nutrients. And microbes like rhizobium fix the nitrogen in the soil, and earthworms loosens the soil. So these are the uses or how these living organisms are the friends of the farmer is given to you. That seed, microbes and earthworm, they help in the growth of crops, and it enrich or the gives the nutrients to this soil. And bacteria or microbes like rhizobium, they fix the atmospheric nitrogen into the soil, and earthworms loosen the soil. Now non-living things which are friends of farmer. So plough, urea, NPK, that is nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, manure, hoe. So these are the non-living components which are friends of farmer. So they support the living components and help in better yield or crop, or it gives the better crop production. And plough and the hoe are the instrument that is used for ploughing and harvesting, whereas manure and urea are used for enrichment of the soil with nutrients. So this is how these non-living components are also friends of farmer. So this is the reason why these components are friends of farmer. Here the answer for this puzzle is also given to you. You can check your answer from here. The components that are living and non-living which are friends of farmer. Now next 21 number question. In that first A, name the tool that is used with a tractor for sowing seeds in a field. And next question in the same is, what are the advantages of using this tool? So let me see the name of that tool. So the tool used with a tractor for sowing the seeds in the field at uniform, that means equal distance, is a seed drill. It is known as the seed drill. And before the introduction, or you can say before this invention of seed drill, the process was manual. As we had seen earlier, the seeder is used and it was of the funnel shape, and in that person or the farmer has to sow, or farmer has to fill that seed with the hand. So it was manual. Now the advantages of this tool, that means advantages of seed drill. So seeds are sown at the uniform distance and depth to avoid overcrowding. To avoid overcrowding, that means growing of plant at the one place only. To avoid this kind of thing, the seed drill is used, and with the help of this seed drill, seeds can be sown at the equal distance and equal depth. Next is, after sowing, seeds are covered by soil, and which prevents them from being eaten by birds. If the seeds are open in the field, then birds can easily eat this kind of seeds. So in this seed drill, after sowing, seeds are covered with the soil, and it prevents from being eaten, or that's why birds cannot eat these seeds. So it is also helpful. Next is, it saves time and labor, as it is tractor driven, so it saves time and human labor also. We should not work in this hard. Next is, improves the ratio of crop yield by as much as 9 times. earlier it was done with the manual or with the hands. So after using this seed drill, the crop production or the crop product you will get is 9 times better than the earlier. So it is very useful. These are the some of the advantages of seed drill. Now next question number 22. In that A, name the practice followed for large scale rearing of farm animals, and in that B, what facilities are provided to farm animals. So the answer of first is name the practice followed for large scale rearing of farm animals. So the science of rearing, caring, breeding, that means producing the same kind of animal, and improvement of domesticated animals is known as the animal husbandry, and it is the practice of breeding and raising livestock, or you can say cattle, like cows, buffaloes, pigs, horses and sheep, etc. And this practice requires good care and management of these cattle or livestock. So this process is known as the animal husbandry. Now, what facilities are provided to these farm animals in this process? So the animals or livestock in the animal husbandry practice should be provided with appropriate shelter facilities. In that, animals are given the shelter facilities properly. They were given food and water, good hygienic practice. That means you have to keep the hygienic condition of these animals. You have to keep their surroundings clean and all. And last one is, in this the animals were given all the medical facilities. So these are the some of the practices which you should perform in the, or which one should perform in the animal husbandry. Next question 23 number. Classify the following crops into Kharif and Rabi crops, and also write in the tabular column given below the name of the crops are given to you, that is maize, paddy, mustard, pea, gram, wheat, groundnut and cotton. So the answer, the crops which are sown in the rainy season, that is from June to September, are classified or are known as the Kharif crops, and the crops which are sown in the winter season, that is generally from October to March, those kind of crops are known as the Rabi crops. And here the crop list is given to you: maize, paddy, groundnut and cotton. These are the Kharif crops, whereas mustard, pea, wheat and gram. So these are the examples of the Rabi crops. So here the classification of the Rabi crops and Kharif crop is given to you. Now next question, that is long answer type questions. In that 24 number, despite favorable climatic condition, a farmer's crop failed to give good yield. Give the possible reasons for this. The climatic condition is favorable, that means it is suitable for the crop, but however the farmer's crop got failed to give the good yield or to give the good crop product. So what will be the reason, or what were the reason that his crop get failed? So if despite favorable climatic conditions the farmer's crop failed to give good yield, the possibilities may be: the climatic condition are suitable or good for the crop. However, if the farmer's crop get failed, then what will be the possibilities? So in that first one is, selection of crops was not done correctly. Before sowing the seed, it may be possible he does not selected the crop properly or correctly, then he did not use good quality and healthy seeds. The next possibility should be, his field was not well irrigated, he was not giving or watering the field time to time. Then it might be also possible that manures and fertilizers were not timely and properly applied, the weeds were not removed, then after seeds were not sown at the appropriate distance, and the soil was not ploughed and leveled properly. So these maybe any of these possibilities is possible, that the climatic condition is favorable or good, but however his crop get failed to give the good yield, so he might be make this mistake in these steps, that selection of crop he has not done correctly, or he did not use the good quality or healthy seeds, or he was not giving the water or watering the plants properly or time to time. He might be not add the manure or fertilizers, or he was unable to remove the weeds from the fields, and seeds were not sown properly or the appropriate distance, equal distance. So might be there is the possibility of overcrowding, and the soil was not ploughed or properly or level properly. So this could be the reason that he does not get good yield of crop production. Next, 25th number. As a part of a eco club activity, students were asked to raise a kitchen garden in their school premises. They were provided with some materials which are given here. List other materials you would require, and how will you plant the garden, and write these steps. So the materials given to you are khurpi, water can, spade or shovel. Shovel is also kind of spade, but it is different. It has the handle at the one end and blade is small as compared to the spade. So let me see. Beside the given tools, the other items required for raising garden are seeds, seedling of vegetables, plants from nursery, kitchen waste, manure, water and soil. These are the rest of the other materials that is required beside these given tools. Now steps for raising the garden. How we will prepare the garden? So kitchen waste, first the kitchen waste will be collected and composted in a pit. To prepare the manure, the kitchen waste will be collected and it composted in the pit. Then after, a patch of land will be identified, or the selection of land is there for the garden with adequate sunlight available. You have to select the piece of land in which the adequate sunlight or enough sunlight is available. Next is, now soil will be dug up and level with the help of a spade. Now soil preparation is there. So soil is dug up and level. It is level with the help of spade. Then after, sowing of seed is there. So sowing of seeds, instead of this you can also transplant these seedlings which you had brought from the nursery. So transplanting of seedlings will be done, and seeds should be uniformly placed with the adequate spacing. At the regular interval of distance, you have to sow these seeds. Next is, select the seeds and seedlings as per the season. We have to select the seeds as per the season, as which kind of seed or which kind of crop is there, according to that season we had to sow these seeds, and water the plants regularly with the water can. We have to water, or the next step is there, that is irrigation. So we have to water the plants at the regular time of interval, and here the water can is given to us, so we can use the water can to water the plants. Next is, compost will be applied. As our now manure is ready, so manuring and fertilizer is there, so that should be applied to this plant. Last one is, weeds will be removed periodically with the help of khurpi. Now with the crop or with the plants, some undesirable plants will also grow, so these weeds will be removed time to time with the help of khurpi. So these are the some of the steps by which we can raise the garden in the school premises or in the area which is around your house. Now next question is 26 number. The paddy is a major cereal crop in our country. So we have to answer these questions. In which season is paddy cultivated, or in which season we are growing this paddy? Discuss the method of the sowing of this paddy, and what measure must be taken to prevent spoilage and insect attack of harvested grains. So first is, in which season is paddy cultivated? So paddy is cultivated in rainy season as it is the kharif crop. So we are cultivating this crop in the rainy season. Next is discuss the method of sowing. So for sowing, paddy seeds are first grown in the nursery and later after selecting healthy seed and plants, they are transplanted in the field. We have to transplant that small or young plants from the nursery to the field. We are not directly sowing the seed in the field. We are first grown in this young plant in the nursery, and then after we are transplanting or moving those young plants to the field. This allows us to select seedlings which can survive in harsher environmental condition for cultivation. So this allow, or we can select the seedlings which will survive in the harsher, or you can say rough environment, in any condition, environmental condition for the cultivation. So we at the end we can get the better yield. And the last question is what measures must be taken to prevent spoilage and insect attack of harvested grains. So measures taken to prevent spoilage or damage of harvested crops from insect attacks. So some of the measure or some of the steps by which you can prevent the spoilage or damage of the crop that are given to you. First one in that is exposing them in the sunlight for drying, as freshly harvested crops have moisture. As the crops we are cutting or harvesting the crop, it has the moisture, so before storing them we have to expose them, or we have to put them in the sunlight to dry them or to remove the moisture which are present in the crop. Next is dried neem leaves are added to store grains so as to prevent damage from the pest. To prevent it, or to prevent the damage from the pest, or you can say microorganisms, dried neem leaves are also added to the store grains. Next is specific chemical treatments are also available for preventing crops from the pest infestations. So to protection from these pest infections, we have to, or some chemicals are also present, or chemical treatments are also there, so we can give these chemical treatments to prevent this spoilage or to save this crop. Next is fumigation of the storage area to remove these insects. So the fumigation is the process to spread the chemicals in the form of fume, or you can say smoke, nearby storage area so that it can remove the insects, or it can prevent the grain from the insects and pests. So by this fumigation process we can also prevent the spoilage and insect attack from the harvested grains. So these are some of the steps which should be taken to prevent the spoilage and damage of the harvested crops from the insect attack. Next question is unscramble the words related to crop production and its management and write in the box given beneath them. Here you have to unscramble the words which are given to you, and then after, now using the circle letters at the end, when you will find the answer, you will get some letters in this circle. So from there, those letters, one word is there. So from that word you have to find that word which is used after maturation of crops. So here the first unscrambled word you will get silos, that is used for storing harvested grains. The next here is threshing. So it is the process of harvested grains being separated from the chaff, that is unwanted part. Next here you will get irrigation. So the process of supplying water to crop field at the different interval of time is known as the irrigation, and here you will get the river, that is the source of water. So from the circular letter you will get here the answer is also given to you. In the first you will get silos, then after you will get threshing, irrigation, river you will get, and the what is this is also given to you. And from the circular word you will get one letter, here it is given to you, which forms the harvesting. So harvesting is the activity which is carried out in the fields after the maturation of crops, that is cutting of mature crop from close to the ground. So this is harvesting. This is the answer for this question. Now next question is 28 number. Given below is the conversation between two farmers. The conversation between two farmers is given to you. The name is Hira and Bira. So now Hira is saying, brother Bira, your maize crop looks beautiful. They have grown pretty fast. So Bira is saying, yes, I have sprayed urea this time. What about you? So Hira is saying, well, I am still relying on good old cow dung. That means I am still depending on good old cow dung and I am saving money for buying a tractor. He want to buy the tractor, so for that he is saving the money. So this time he did not spray the urea. So Bira is saying, that's good. Tractor saves a lot of time and labor. So Hira is saying, yes, it's been very labor intensive for me and now these weeds have come up. So Bira is saying that try weedicides. They are very effective. So now we have to answer this question. This first is list the practices which are not environment friendly and why. We have to say why these are not environment friendly. So the answer for the first is the practices used in the field which are not environment friendly are use of fertilizers, pesticides, weedicides and other chemical substances that pose, or you can say that increase health hazard or that are dangerous for the health. And tractor though saves the labor and time but contributes to the air pollution. It is true that tractor is time saving and labor saving. In that you do not have to work hard, but at the end it contributes or it results in the air pollution. So this use of chemicals and tractor is not environment friendly. Now the next question in this is, what is the advantage of modern agricultural implements over the traditional ones? What are the advantages of modern agricultural tools as compared to the traditional tools? So modern agricultural implements save both time and labor and as compared to traditional equipments, and they import more efficiency and accuracy in the different agricultural processes like sowing of seed. They are efficient and accurate. As the example is given to you, sowing of seed, we are in the modern method we are using seed drill, which is more efficient and accurate. In that the seeds are sown at the accurate distance or equal interval of distance and depth, and they are also covered with this soil. So this is the advantage of modern agricultural implements over the traditional equipments. The next third question in that is, name one weedicide and the precaution farmers must take during its application. You have to give the one example of weedicides and what precaution should a farmer take while the application of this weedicide. So the example of this weedicide is 2,4-D, that is 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. So the precaution taken by farmers while spraying it on crops is they should properly cover their nose and mouth so as to avoid inhaling of these chemicals. If we are inhaling this kind of chemicals, that is dangerous to our health. So to prevent it or to stop this, the farmer should cover his nose and mouth while spraying this on the crop. And excessive use of harmful, hence they should limit the application of such chemicals. The excessive use of this weedicide is harmful, so we have to limit this such kind of application of such chemicals. So this is the answer for this. Now next questions are given for only for discussions. Despite being one of the growing economies, our country still has a large section of population going hungry and malnourished. Malnourished, that means not getting properly nourishment. So do you think an efficient crop production mechanism is the only solution to this and discuss in the class, and what else needs to be done to root out, or you can say to remove, hunger and nutrition from the country. So we have to only discuss this. So here the answers is given to you. India is the growing economy with agriculture is the major contributor in our growth. Agriculture gives the major contribution in the growth of our country. And agriculture is the science of cultivating plants, animals and other life forms for good and other sources. And despite this large production of crops by the agricultural practice, people still go hungry and malnourished. We have the large production of these agricultural products, but however, the people go hungry and some of the peoples are not getting proper food, and because of that they are facing malnourished. And this happen because of insufficient crop production and management. Properly management is not there, so they are not getting food properly. And in India, an increase in production of crop grains has been observed from 1960 to 2004. The crop production is raised or increased between these years, and with efficient management the crop production can be enhanced, or we can increase it and improve this feed to the country's poor. And we can give this food, or we can reach, or this food can be reached to this country's poor by the production or efficient management and the proper production. So now what we had to do, or what we can do, so a few steps in this direction is given to you that can be taken. That is, first one is selection of high field seeds for planting the seeds with increased yield and reduces growth period. We have to do this, or farmers can do this, that selection of high field seeds, the seeds which are giving the higher yield in the shorter period, or which can reduce the growth period in the short time. We have to select the seeds which can give higher yield or high crop production in this short period of time. The next step that we can take, that is management of crop production. The financial aspects of agriculture should be made more approachable to farmers at all levels. The farmer should be independent as in this financial aspect. He can, or we have to make them able that they can buy all the agricultural practice, modern agricultural practice, to get the more production, more crop production and the management of this crop production. Next step is information regarding use of chemicals, manures, cropping patterns, nutrient quality and the irrigation facilities should be discussed and propagated among the farmers. We have to discuss these facilities, these modern methods or chemicals, what is the importance of these manures, cropping patterns, then after what are the nutrient qualities that soil require, what are the different irrigation facilities by which they can save the water as well as electricity also, and they will get the good crop production. So we have to discuss these methods and we have to spread these methods, propagated, that means spread these methods among the farmers. So this can give the more crop production and the good management. Next is protection of crops. The agriculture produce should be shared efficiently to reduce the microbial, pest or other organisms for infesting the produce, and the pest and weed control measures should be adopted. Next step, in which step we can do something, that is protection of crops. So we have to produce or efficiently we have to save the crops from the microbials, pest or the microorganisms measures, that means from the rats, and for that we have to adopt some modern methods, or we have to aware the farmers about this. A large amount of crop gets spoiled during the storage by different living and non-living factors. Living factors includes rodents, microbes and insects. Rodents, that means rats or mice. So this can spoil our crop in the large amount. So we have to protect the crop from these living factors and non-living factors like moisture, temperature and hygiene of storage place. So we have to concentrate on this, and keeping these factors in mind, we can reduce the economic losses and increase the marketability and feed the country's poor. So by keeping these all factors in our mind, we can reduce what are the economical losses in this agricultural practice, and we can increase the crop production, and we can at the end we can feed the country's poor, or everyone in the country can get the food. Next question is, terms related to agricultural practice are given below. We have to rearrange them in the correct sequence. The terms are given to you, that is harvesting, sowing, manuring, tilling, ploughing, irrigation and weeding is given to you. So the correct sequence for this series or the agricultural practice is here, that is tilling and ploughing. Then after next stage is sowing. The next one is manuring. Then after irrigation, weeding, and last is harvesting. So now let me see what are these processes. So tilling and ploughing. So it is the turning and loosening of soil to encourage the growth of earthworms and microbes, and it is the first step in the preparation of soil. So this is tilling and ploughing, in which we are turning and loosening the soil, and at the end which encourage the growth of earthworms and microbes, which is at the end good for our soil. Next is sowing. So sowing, after soil preparation, next stage is sowing. So good and healthy seeds are selected and sowed to considerable depth or to appropriate depths in the soil by either traditional or modern methods. So this is what we are doing in this sowing. After sowing, next step is manuring. So it is done to add humus, improve soil texture, as well as to replenish or to restore the nutrients in the soil. So this is manuring, in which we are adding manure or fertilizer in the soil to give the humus to the soil, to improve the soil texture and to restore the nutrients in the soil which are earlier used by the earlier crops. So this is manuring. Next stage is irrigation. So irrigation is the crop fields are watered at regular intervals to provide moisture for growth and germination of seeds. This is what irrigation, in which we are providing water to the field for the proper growth and germination of these seeds. Then after next is weeding. So weeding is the removal of weeds that grow naturally between crops and the compete with them for sunlight, space, water and nutrients. Weeding or weeds are the undesirable plants which grow with the crop and they compete with the crop for space, nutrients, sunlight and water. So they should be removed before the weeds mature. So now what is, well, when the weeds get mature, so that is it started producing flowers and seeds. So before that we had to remove these weeds. So that is weeding. And at the end, next is harvesting. So it is the process of cutting and gathering mature crops, and it can be done manually by sickle or by harvester machine. In that we are cutting the crop near from the ground, and this is done by hand using the tool that is known as the sickle, or you can use the machine also that is known as the harvester. So here our solution for NCERT exemplar book gets over. So this is the solution for that book, and revision for the chapter 1. You do not have to write this exercise in your notebook. This is your practice purpose. For the practice purpose. Thank you.